Nope. 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 Nope.
The past week for me has been absolutely crazy in terms of YouTube stuff, and all in the best ways imaginable. I got to talk with a dev during the Dungeon Defenders video, we got our first Patreon member over on patreon.com, and I was also approached by another dev to review their upcoming game. The game in question is what you're seeing on screen right now. This is Undergoes. It's a game developed by David Montesi Rivas, I'm not sure how to say that name. There's been a lot of firsts for the channel lately, and I guess we can add not knowing how to say a person's name to that list. Y'all need to quit subscribing and supporting this channel, it's getting hard to keep track of everything. Reverse psychology is a technique involving the assertion or belief. What we have here today is a cool survival sandbox horror game-ish thing, all spun around in a neat art style. The idea here is to go around cave by cave collecting as many items as you can. Along the way you fight enemies and make upgrades to your little drill thing, your home base more or less. The premise just by itself is really cool because, as I've expressed in other videos, I sort of take issue with how survival games handle themselves nowadays. We've seen all of the going through forests and plain biome stuff already, so a new environment is an immediate good shoo-in for me to just enjoy your survival game. And it's made all the better because Undergoes is being developed by only one person. You got your typical crafting survival systems like a hunger mechanic or building up your base, and again you can make upgrades to your little drill thingy as well, making it move faster or steer better or turning off the grinding noise whenever you're driving it. You got little mini games that you can play, and there's even other crafting benches you can access to just give you more things to make. This all makes for a good start to a game so early in development. And as it stands, I'm genuinely excited to see what's next for Undergoes. The art style alone seems like the kind of thing that the internet would just fawn over for way too long of a time. It seems like one of those games to me. There's certainly a lot to look forward to with what we already have here. But we have a little bit of a problem. Just cut the music, cut the music. This next part is gonna be pretty hard to talk about, admittedly. And that's because, well, I have a list of criticisms we need to go through first. Before we start talking about any actual criticisms, I just need to lay out that the entire purpose of my channel is just more or less something I do for fun. I talk about things that interest me, whether I like them, don't like them, or somewhere in between. One could say I just like hearing the sound of my own voice, and really I just like talking about stuff. That's the real reason I make these videos. So to not beat around the bush too much here, what's the real reason I'm talking about Undergoes today, a game that's not quite ready yet? Well, it's because, in a single sentence, I see a lot of potential here. Like, a lot of potential. David went out of his way to give me a Steam copy of the game so that I could review it. As I said before, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Going into the game proper, I didn't have any expectations. I didn't really know what I was walking in on. When I actually got to playing the game, I saw some good, I saw some bad, but mostly I just saw a lot of ugly. Let me also just mention real fast, because I'm sure David is watching this video. That would make sense to me, right? I am not here to tell you, no, David, do not make this game, do not work on this game. That is the absolute last thing that I want. Everything that I've been saying has been 100% truthful, and you're just gonna have to take my word on that. I really do see potential here, and I really do think this game could take off and absolutely take the internet by storm if you just continue to work on it. The work that you have done isn't lost on me either. I saw a patch come out for the game a couple days ago, and just that act in and of itself fills me with a lot of hope for this game. For your talent as a game designer. So because of the stance I find myself in when regarding this video and regarding this game, we're gonna do something a little bit different here. Something a little more personal. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the good and the bad and the stuff that I want to see changed. I am not a game designer, not yet anyway. I would like to be one day, but I am a player of games and I enjoy games. I want to see changes in this game that will allow me to enjoy it. As it stands right now, I can't say I recommend paying for it. That being said, if you're still watching this video, there is a demo out for the game that you can play right now. And to you, David, who has worked an untold amount of hours on this game, I'm going to just tell you right here and now, despite what you're going to hear, I don't want you to just give up on this project. There is good stuff in here and stuff that totally works, despite what some random asshole on the internet might say. With that being said, let's get started. I think from just the footage you can get a good taste of what the atmosphere and the general art direction is, and as it stands currently, I think that is the biggest driving factor for why somebody would want to play Undergoes. If you want to immerse yourself in this environment, you have a completely free way to do so. If you like what you saw out of the demo, if you like what you played, then go ahead and wait for some updates and then get the paid-for version of the game. Keeping in mind all of my horrible biases for what I want this game to turn into, let's go ahead and jump into some of the problems. For starters, while there is a unique atmosphere just going through cave to cave and exploring these weird environments, I feel like a lot could be done to sort of bolster the feeling of building and staking your claim in these caves. You could, if you wanted to, build a little structure inside of these caves and sort of just live out your days in here. Or at least you could if the oxygen meter didn't get in the way here. In terms of an on-paper idea, I like the sort of limited time you can explore in an environment. That's cool. You could be sort of rushing to get as many materials as you can, and just the overwhelming danger of a timer is the thing that's sort of keeping you on edge the whole time. That's fine, but I feel like some caves could do without the whole oxygen mechanic. Have safe environments where you can build a base and build up your resources and have place to store stuff. Because as it stands, if you go to any one cave and you have a timer ticking down, you really can't build a house. You don't really have enough time to. How I personally went about playing the game was just collecting as many resources as I could, go back to the drill, and then move on to the next cave. I didn't care about placing anything unless it was a crafting bench, in which case I plucked it back up and then left to go somewhere else. When all of your exploration is set behind a timer, you're kind of limiting the whole sandbox aspect of your survival sandbox. These two mechanics are just at odds with one another. So if you didn't want to remove the building outright, then just make it to where some caves are completely safe. Make it to where there's a big hole in the ceiling or something, and that is where your airflow comes in. You don't have to worry about oxygen anymore, and I'm allowed to build a little structure inside of the cave that I can act as a main headquarters. Also make it to where I can maybe mark the cave with some sort of button or flag or something, so that I know where it is and I know where I can go back to whenever I have a huge, drop-off of materials or something. Another thing I take issue with here is also just the combat. None of the enemies feel threatening. Even if you're being swarmed by multiple bugs or monsters at once, none of them are really that big of a threat. They just kind of meander towards you, and as long as you keep them in the same visual cone, none of them are really going to hurt you. The only time I died in Undergoes was just by fall damage. And if you're trying to go for a sort of unsettling design with the cave and with the monsters, that is a good thing. You can make that work to your benefit. Alternatively, if hardcore horror isn't the goal, then you can go for an uncanny angle. That works too. Just, I don't know, something having to do with the monsters' AI patterns or maybe their attack damage, something needs to change with the monsters, I think. They're not enjoyable to circumvent, they're not really all that fun to fight, and they're not that much of a threat at all. In a somewhat related vein, I think what you could build here with this game is a really strong sense of atmosphere. I'm a little bit weirded out that there's not a whole lot of echo going on in these caves. The sound design that is present in Undergoes is genuinely pretty good. It's weird and makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But it's like a good weird and uncomfortable, if that makes any sense. I think that's fine, there just needs to be more of it. I honestly think you could throw in the equivalent of Minecraft cave noises just as sort of ambient background noise, and it would probably benefit the game a lot, actually. I did happen to notice that a lot of the general direction and player progression has also been streamlined, or at least made more clear. You have an objective system now, which is a great start. Looking through the crafting menu, I saw that I needed to create glass, and I gathered that by looking at that little crafting booklet. But other players just jumping in might not be able to figure that out, so yes, I do think this is a good change. What I also want to throw in here too, though, is also just the uncanniness or lack of clarity needs to either go whole hog or not at all. Whenever I'm picking up materials in this game, I don't know what I'm collecting. I don't know what the game is asking of me. You can see the names of items if you drop them on the ground, but that's a weirdly obtuse way to know what you're picking up. I think when regarding strictly items just as a whole, you could probably benefit by just making their signage more clear. Either have words telling you what they are and what their purpose is, or make their images more clear in general. I don't mean to keep tearing you apart here, but I think the last thing I'd want to see fixed is also just the navigation when regarding the drill. I like having this sort of diegetic buttons that you can look at to steer the drill and go in different caves and such. Once again, on paper that works and I think that's cool. There's like a tactile understanding with your HUD element here, and that's cool, you don't see that every day. My only real problem is that I just want it to feel better. Like, steering left and right is way too sensitive, and steering up and down is fidgety and not sensitive enough. Maybe you could do with tweaking this and having it to where it's sort of, when you right-click on the steering wheel, it orbits your camera whenever you're looking. If that makes any sense. I don't know, if it doesn't make sense, then just maybe try for something different. Keep the kinetic buttons, keep the looking in the direction to steer your ship drill thingy, but just change something about it. This is a central mechanic, people are going to be in their drills for a long time, so it should probably feel good to control. At least in my opinion. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to say for this part. I'm not gonna lie, I feel pretty awful for just cutting down this person trying to make something with love in their heart, right? A person who wants to make something because they enjoy it. So again, I'll opt to repeat myself here. I'm not saying this game is bad, I'm just saying that it's undercooked right now. You have a really strong first impression, and I really do think this game can get places. But honesty is my best policy. Do I currently feel like playing Undergoes? Well, no, not right now. Do I feel like watching the game develop and grow over time? Yes, absolutely. I would love to be able to one day recommend this game to people, recommend it to my friends or to people on the internet. In fact, I'm gonna do just that. When this game gets into a state where I can comfortably say, yes, this is a good fun time, then I'll go and do another review of it, a whole new video. I'll put that down as a sworn promise right here and now. I would love nothing more than for somebody to take pride in their work here. It's just as it stands, I really can't lie to David because he developed the game, and I can't lie to viewers because they watch my stuff. But, we're getting into broken record territory here. So I'll leave off with this. I will wait patiently in bated breath to see if I want to play the game again. I'll watch all the developmental updates and stuff on the Steam page, and one day I'll come back and go, yeah, no, this is good. This is something I want to play. When that time comes, I'm gonna do this whole video over again. If you find yourself as a viewer looking at this video and looking at this game, and you find yourself even slightly interested, then, I mean, there's worse ways to spend your time. You can try the demo completely free on Steam, and if it's something you're interested in, then follow the development on Steam. I really do have high hopes for Undergoes. And David, I wish you the best of luck. If you happen to somehow enjoy the video today, then a like and subscribe is always appreciated. Go check out Undergoes on Steam. If you decide to donate $1 a month to the Patreon, then you'll get exclusive access to sneak peeks that I make for future videos, as well as allowing me to shout your name out at the end of these videos. And with that being said, it's Patreon shoutout time! A very special thank you to Stefan, our very first Patreon member. And I'll opt to say it again because, well, it's the first Patreon member we got here, so... once more, Stefan. Sorry, I have to make it special somehow, I don't really know what else to do here. But, yeah, I think that'll be it for me today. I hope you all enjoy the video today, and I'll see y'all next Friday. Have a good day, everybody.